um, Jamie, would it be okay with you to open in prayer and ask God's help for this session?
Sure.
Okay, and for the team.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So, Lord, we just want to lift up this time to you and ask God that all things would go according to your plan. Lord, that you bless each speaker, let each one sense your ability, your power, your presence, and Lord, that each of us would hear and learn and pick up exactly the things you want us to learn. And God, we just want to say thank you for this company. Thank you for the products. Thank you for making the food that works so well to make us healthy. And Lord, what it does for our friends too. And we just want to say thank you so very much in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Okay, well, thank you so much. And we've got a few announcements here. Just basically that the summit is coming right up, you guys. July 26th and 27th, Westin Lake, Las Vegas. It's one of the few resorts down there that doesn't have a casino in it. And it's where the Kansas City Chiefs stayed for the Super Bowl. So very nice, gorgeous, beautiful facility. And there's an event that's going to happen the first hour or two of the summit. And to get into that event, you need to have 6 signups. I believe it's from December to the end of May. And 3 of them have to be promoters. And so if you don't have that, it's not too late. You can do that this month. You can do that. Good to see Ramona with us and Brent there. And in the reason you want to get your 6 signups by the end of May is because then you get to be in a room with Kendra and Jerry, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I think they're calling it Kendra and Jerry Unplugged. And I think there's going to be some other top speakers and I think some food. But to get in there, I think it's the first 2 hours of the summit. You have to have 6 signups. So the reason I say it's not too late is, we're a very, very, very old team. This team has been in existence for 53 years, and different things have changed. But one thing we used to do, and we did this quite a bit at Debbie Musak's house. But in the beginnings of the team, we would have what we called home shows. And then I think Josh changed it to shake parties. But we'd get 2, 3, 4 people over. If the host worked really hard, sometimes we'd get up to 9 or 10. And sometimes we'd get 3 or 4 signups in one night, 3 or 4 in one night, you guys. So if you want to get into that room, which it'll make convention a lot more fun, you could consider, I'm more than willing to do a PowerPoint for you. You get some friends in your home. I can come in person or I can do it on Zoom and see if we can get 2, 3, 4 signups for you. So you got your total of 6, because it'll make convention a lot more fun. And for wins, we had 39 signups in the team this month. Happy about that. And I think we should, and if you get a sign up, whether member or promoter, you're eligible for a $50 drawing. So some of these people got multiple signups and some got one. So I'm going to read these names, and then since Aki is our guest, I'm going to have him pick a number 1 through 3 of these signups were mine, and so I'm not going to include those. So I'll have Aki pick any number between 1 and 36 to win the $50. But I'm going to read you the names of people who sponsored. Janet Cornelius, she got 2. Kat Bonnie, Daniel Hansen got a ton. Jamie Wilson, Lori Ish, Donna Vallejo, Barbara Chichester. Barbara got 2. And she had 3 in her team because Donna's in her team, and Donna got a good sign up. Then Stephanie Beckett, Sherry Reef, Sarah Jackets, Tracy Slater, and Bob Pearson. And Aki, can you choose a number between 1 and 36, and that person is going to win $50?
Well, I'll pick my lucky number. That's number 23.
23. Okay, so 23. Daniel Hansen wins $50. So you guys keep that in mind. Anytime Daniel's mom won it last month, and I think the month before that was Kat Bonnie, and the month before that was Brent. Back then it was $40 when Brent won for signing someone up, and but now you guys it's $50. So if you sign up one person during the month, whether they're member or promoter, you're eligible for to be in the drawing for $50. So who has a win they want to share? Something good that's happened before we start with our speakers.
I have a win.
Okay, good. Tell us.
Yes, so yesterday I went out. I mean, I go out not every day, but I went out yesterday and I met a young lady and she started talking about her, she had breast cancer, I think 70 years ago. And she said, you know, and I take a protein shake every morning. And I asked her, where does she get? Does it have 22 amino acid? I didn't say anything. She said, no, I didn't check on anything like that. So I told her what I did and she was really excited. So I gave her, I don't know if you know that in Elevate, if you order the cards, you can have your name and the Q, whatever, scan on it. And it has your number and your website. So I gave her that card plus an Elevate, a sample. So I left that area and I went to another area and saw this lady and she had a beautiful baby. And I complimented, the baby was really beautiful. And we started talking. She shared her experiences, her first baby, etc. And we were at the grocery area and she's talking about having how to feed her baby because, you know, she doesn't want to buy commercialized food. So I showed her the label on the vegetables, the 9 and the 8. And she said, oh my God, I need to be friends with you. And she lives about 10 minutes away from me. So we shared and she said, I'm interested in the business because I don't want to go back to work because I have the baby and etc. So I invited her today, but that was just a late one. So we will keep in touch with her because, you know, she has a baby and she's busy. So that's what my win. And the whole idea is conversation. I'm getting a little bit more confident in talking to these strangers. So that's it.
Outstanding. How did you meet? Tell us one more time how you met the lady with the baby. That's amazing.
Oh, I was just going down the aisle in the grocery store, and I figured I had to make a compliment. And the baby is beautiful, a beautiful baby. And so the baby and I kept interacting. The baby's now 6 months, and you know, so and we started talking, and I asked her how, you know, asked her different questions about just overall who she was, etc. And I was a little bit nervous, but the conversation kept going and it felt a little bit better, etc. At least I can have a candy or junk food around me, you know. But so that's how we had a conversation. I never brought up to this day, she does not know anything about the company named NeoLife. No, didn't mention anything. I'm just having a relationship with her. And she told me where she lives, her family, etc. So.
Okay, and she's the one that expressed interest in having a in-home opportunity.
She didn't say in-home. She said, I wanted to get her business because I didn't want to, because she had the baby there. I didn't want to lead anything on. And when I got to the car, she said, please let me know about the business part of it. So that's why I invited her today. So, but I told her, I don't know if you can make it because she has a baby and it's just a short notice. So if she doesn't come on today, I will reach out with her this afternoon. And share her, ask if I could share a link on the NeoLife business opportunity. I can share her that link as a third party. Yeah.
Wow. Let's give Barbara a hand, you guys. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And you guys, I'm going to say the name of this video so you guys can go look at it. I think it's 17 minutes long. I showed it to Kevin and Janet. It's by Alan Blaine. It's called Income with Opportunity, incomewithopportunity.com. No, Income with Impact.
Impact.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Incomewithimpact.com. So that's a good one, I think, to show prospects. Who else has a win? Thank you, Barbara. That was awesome. Awesome.
You're welcome.
I do. I have a little
Okay,
win.
tell us, David.
She didn't sign up yet, but I finally got a hold of this lady who was trying to get a hold of me for quite a while, and we never did cross paths. Well, I ran into her yesterday. We had a short conversation due to different schedules. I gave her a sample of the tray and I told her there's a very good opportunity here to make a lot of money with helping other people. And I said, are you game for that? And she said, yes. So I said, we're going to have to do more conversating about this because I need to know a lot more about you and you need to know more about me and what I'm doing. And I said, then you're going to feel comfortable about this whole thing. And she looked at me and she said, well, I'm already kind of comfortable with the whole thing. She said, I've been watching you working for months. And she said, you don't even get tired. So there we go. So
Awesome.
I think maybe by the end of next week, I might have her signed up.
Wow. What is your age, David?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm only 21.
Okay.
No, I will be 65 May 21st.
Okay. And she's obviously impressed with your energy level, right?
Yes. Yes, that's what she's seen. Energy.
Yeah.
And
Very
you know,
good.
so and her energy is a lot less than mine, and I don't know what her age is, but she's younger than me. She's
Okay.
she's
Wow.
from one of the Caribbean islands, but I don't know which one. Could be
Okay.
Jamaica. She doesn't have a strong accent. She's well educated. And I just told her a little bit about the product itself, how it opens the cells. And it opened her eyes.
Okay, good. Wonderful. Wonderful. David, you could consider giving her that, showing that movie to her. Income with Impact .com is how you get that. That could be one tool you could use. Who else? Thank you, David. Good job. Who else has a win?
Hi.
Mary.
Well, I don't know if it's a win or not, but I'm still gonna share. A few days ago, I remember texting back and forth with someone via Messenger on Facebook. An old friend, he expressed the fact that he wanted to lose weight and get back into his college weight or physique. And right now, all I have to do is follow up with them because he is interested in, because he's been watching me on Facebook because I do post periodically on Facebook. He's seen me, and then now he wants to have a way to get back into his college physique. There's another one yesterday. I was also messaging her via Messenger. She's been following me as well. She's been watching me. So people are watching. She's been watching me on Facebook for a while. She already has products at home, but she doesn't want to get anything new, because she doesn't want her husband to be upset because she already has something. So she wants to use up what she has, and then once that's done, she'll get on board with what I have.
Great, Mary. Good job. So that's from Facebook. That's from Facebook, you're saying?
On Facebook, yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. Great. Boy, the more you can learn that, I know some people that know Facebook, they get, it's like access to thousands of leads, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Potential.
Yes.
Awesome. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Who else has a win?
I don't have a win, but I got a testimony.
Okay, tell us.
It was back in, I think it was first part of January or sometime in December. I ended up blowing out my left knee, and they did an MRI and they said that my meniscus was torn, said I had arthritis and I had some torn ligaments also. So they went and put me through, for whatever it was my knee, they said that I needed to go in for a EKG and blood work and stuff. Well, they came back and they said, "Hey, you've got a electrical mischarge in your lower right ventricle. So we need to do a nuclear stress test on you, being your knees blown out." So of course we got a hold of Debbie Musak and we got and Barb, and they all got together and they started figuring out what I needed to take. So they pounded a bunch of stuff in me for the next 3 months when the nuclear stress test came along. But in the meantime, my knee started repairing itself also. Well, they did the stress test and the doctor said, "Why did you take this? Your heart's perfectly fine." And so I'm thinking to myself, why do I have to go in for knee surgery now that the swelling's gone down and the pain's starting to go away? And so I don't even think I'm going to need knee surgery now. And everything that Debbie and Barb went and told me to take, I took it, and they said that there's nothing wrong with my heart. So that's a good testimony.
That's a win.
Sure is. Sure is. Wow, fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, Rick.
Sure.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate that. Who else has a win?
Well, I get to share one with Debbie. Debbie got invited to do a booth at a political meeting down here and asked me if I'd wanted to tag along since there was only a slight chance of seeing very many people. And we got to sign up a lady that was in the booth right next to us. And so she came on as a promoter, and I tried to just have Debbie take her, and Debbie said, no, you sign her up. And well, last night, the lady has a like a store in town, and it was every first Friday in Grants Pass, they keep the stores open late and people kind of walk around and get acquainted with what people are doing. And so anyway, we made 3 or 4 really good contacts last night that will be signing up under this lady. And then as her name's Kelly, and as Kelly was swapping phone numbers with Debbie, Debbie, you want to tell that part? Are you there?
Debbie doesn't remember offhand. You go ahead and tell him.
Okay. Well, when Kelly started to put Debbie's phone number in, John's name came up because John had talked to her a couple of years ago and really worked with her and sent her a bunch of videos and things, but she didn't. She was just too busy at the time to get started. And it was kind of cool that John worked this field and Debbie got blessed with it. And so I just thought that was really cool and wanted to share that with you. And also Debbie is Kelly's doing great. She's starting out like a champion. So we're kind of excited about where she's going to go and what she's going to do.
And Jamie, is she talking about hosting an event that you guys will present at, or will these just be?
Yes. In fact, when
Okay.
you're down here next month, you're on.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. That's just absolutely wonderful. Well, congratulations, you guys, and being out there. That's really great.
Yeah.
Any other wins? These are great, fantastic. Well, I got a new sales tool. I'll show this to you, and if any of you want it, just email me and I'll send it to you. I got 2 new signups last week. And one thing I did in common with both of them is amazing, had polycystic ovarian syndrome. I think the Trianin and shake, the Pro Vitality and shake and salmon oil can take care of that. Seems like can take care of that beautifully because there's quite a few testimonies for it. And I think they both had endometriosis, and maybe the Lord prompted me to do this because I've never done this before. But I went over and printed out this here, and I don't know if you can see that, but it says vitamin E and female health. and it has all the things that vitamin E can help with for a woman. And what they are is infertility, miscarriage, PMS, menstrual rhythm is off, flow is too heavy, too light, too prolonged, fibrocystic breast disease, which is breast lumps, menstrual irregularity, hot flashes, breast tenderness, and then low levels of vitamin E are associated with higher rates of breast cancer. Well, those last two women that both signed up, I did the same. I did different things. I actually gave both of them a mixed up shake for them, and they both bought breakfast pack, and they liked the shake. And I showed this to both of them. I've never done that before. Just pulled this out, and I just said, look, I'm going to give this to you because you may have girlfriends that need this. Well, the first lady says, I have everything on that list. And I think the second one might have said the same thing, you know. So I guess I've been missing it all these years. If I have a female here doing a one-to-one, I should probably give this to her because she may have some of them, or she's got friends or a sister or a neighbor or a cousin that has these. So if you guys want these, where these came out of is the Nutrition Almanac. And you just look under vitamin E and it says it'll help almost everything with a woman's cycle, even from beginning like menstruation clear to the hot flashes on the far end. But man, look at all those things that vitamin E can help them with. So I'm going to probably start using this anytime I have a woman come in for a one-to-one. I think I'm going to show this to her in case either her or her friends. So I think that was a win. Anyone else have a win to share? Because if not, we'll go to our first speaker, Aki. Okay, we're going to do this then. We're just really fortunate today. We got a 10-minute slot. I said, hey, Aki, if we could have you, it would just be fantastic. He has one of the most amazing stories in the whole company. And this should give us hope because he did not find NeoLife till he's 42. And at that point, he had 40 jobs and he was driving taxi 6 days a week, if I remember correctly, 10 to 12 hours a day. He's living in a third floor walk-up apartment in New York City and driving taxi in New York City, and no elevator. Every time you go up or down, you got to go 3 floors. And so to me, that sounds like a bit difficult life. And here he finds out about NeoLife at 42. And you guys, he and his wife became a one diamond. And a one diamond, you guys, sells 200,000 PV per month. Okay. So that means they're not on welfare. Okay. They're not on welfare, selling 200,000, and they have 10 first level directors. Woo! That's big business. So a former taxi driver working 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours, got this great opportunity. And you guys, he is Lawrence Clark's sponsor, which means he gets a commission on all of Lawrence's first level directors. One of Lawrence's first level directors, I must remind you, is Alan Blaine. So Aki's getting a commission on Alan's team. Another one is Josh Clark getting commission on that team, but he was already a one diamond before he met them. You guys, this is an amazing story. So you guys, let's welcome Aki Bird. Aki used to work with my parents on a project. Weren't you on the board, Aki, with mom and dad? Yeah. And so he's been in the company over 40 years. He at 86, he ran a 5K, you guys, just a few weeks ago, and he has a Spartan run coming up. This is an amazing story. So Aki, take it away. Let's welcome Aki Bird, one diamond. Aki Bird. We can't hear you. I think you're on mute, I think. Is there a little place you can hit unmute?
Okay, you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I lost the sound earlier when you were sharing wins. I hope I stay connected, through this whole thing.
I hope so,
So
too.
let's go.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'm 85 years old. I'll be 86 next month. I'm healthy. I'm I'm on 0 medications. I never get sick. In fact,
Wow.
since I started NeoLife 40 years ago, I haven't been sick a single day, not even a sniffle in all that time. And
Wow.
that's amazing because the first 40 years, I was always sick. So it's a big difference and it's a blessing. I'm also fit, like Bob said. I exercise every day. I run 2 or 3 miles 5 days a week. I ran a 5K recently, and I'm going to be doing a Spartan race next month. Well, actually, in 2 weeks. It's not next month, it's coming up. Everybody know what a Spartan race is? That's like
Tell
a
us.
3-mile race with 20 obstacles. You have to climb over, crawl under, jump over. I'm doing it with a bunch of friends, so I think I'll get by with the help of my friends. So I'm looking forward to it. I also have a big, beautiful home here in the mountains of Western North Carolina. I'm about 15 miles from the entrance of the Smoky Mountain Park, and that's pretty good for somebody who grew up with my parents and 2 sisters in a 700 square foot apartment in New York. So
Wow.
it's a
Wow.
big difference.
Wow.
I mean, that was home. I never realized it was so small. Even though I had to sleep in the living room, you know. And I am financially fit for the rest of my life. I have more than enough money in the bank and under my pillow to support myself for the next 20 years or so. So I'm real thankful and grateful for that. So I have a great life. And as far as I'm concerned, it keeps getting better and better. But it wasn't always that good. Like Bob was saying, when my late wife, Moss, and I got started in the business, started using the products, we were probably at the lowest point in our life. I was in my early 40s. I was driving a taxi cab to support the family. We were living in this 3rd floor walk-up apartment, and I was sure it was never going to get any better. I had actually 40 jobs before I was 40 years old. I mean, I did just about everything. I was a college professor. I acted with Burt Reynolds. I washed dishes, waited on tables, drove a taxi cab, worked on assembly line for General Motors, and worked out in Washington. No, Oregon. I was in Oregon, in Milton Freewater, Oregon, working in a pea cannery, freezing the peas. So I've done everything. It's like, what can I say? I grew up in the 60s and enjoyed all the vices that were around at that time. So I didn't have much of a track record as far as being a responsible citizen. And so it was really impossible for me to find a decent job of any kind. Nobody would hire me. I was unemployable, really. And then one great day, wonderful day, NeoLife just showed up in our life. A friend of my wife's, a friend of ours, knew my wife from the organic food co-op she was running in New York City. And she knew that my wife was interested in health and was always looking for the best nutritional support she could find. So she recommended that my wife take Formula 4. Now, you got to get that this woman was not selling NeoLife. She wasn't even using the product. She had heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who had heard it from a friend. So we had to find a source of the product. You know, you couldn't buy it in the local health food store. And at that time, there was only 2 in the city. So we tracked down Marina Morrow in New Jersey, about 40 miles away. And if you ever get a chance to meet Marina, please say hi. She's just absolutely wonderful, wonderful woman. Our family, I think her family's been in business longer than yours, Bob. She
Yeah.
goes back
Hey. Yeah, I think so.
about 3 or 4 years before you.
I think so.
I actually met Bob's grandfather back in the day at my first convention. I went up and introduced myself, and I said, it was nice to see you. And he says, well, it was nice to be seen. So, now, back in those days, the business was totally different. You know, I find it hard to tell people how to do the business today because when we started, there was no computers, no social media, no cell phones, if we had to get products, if I sold Barbara Chichester a bottle of Formula 4, I would have to get the money up front and promise her that I would deliver it to her in a week. Because I then had to get enough together, hop in my little Volkswagen Beetle, drive across the George Washington Bridge 40 miles out into New Jersey to get the products from Marina, then come back and then hop on the subway and ride the subway across town to deliver the products to Barbara. And that was a job. I mean, I'd like to say building a business was easy, but it wasn't. It was really hard for us. Eventually, we got enough customers so that we could get $1,000 order and get free shipping directly to our apartment. And the poor UPS guy had to carry. Anybody ever order $1,000 PV of product and you think you have to carry it up 3 flights of stairs? So we didn't have a lot of friends. All the time we were together, we were a pretty tight couple. And for example, other than a few family visits, we never had anybody as a guest in our apartment for the 10 years we lived there. And so we had to go to do fairs to meet people, and we did a fair just about every week. Either in New York City, they would block off a whole 3rd Avenue for 15 blocks, and there'd be vendors along the sidewalks and no cars, and thousands of people going up and down the street. So lots of activity, and it was at that time we had a water purifier. Anybody remember the NeoLife water purifier called the Water Dome? Well, it was a pretty easy sell in New York. Everybody was convinced that their water was poisoned to begin with. So all I had to do was get an appointment, go to their home, set up the water purifier on their sink, pour a glass of purified water and a glass of tap water. And then there was a test you could put into the water to test for chlorine. So I put the drops in each one. The purified water would be crystal clear, and the tap water would turn out urine yellow. And I would say, which would you prefer to drink? And it was a sale. All I had to do was get the appointment, and I got the sale. And getting the appointment was the hard part. So that's basically how we started our business, even though we started with the nutritional products. But every time I made the sale, I always said, I did Colombo. Remember Colombo? As I was going out the door, I turned around and said, oh, I almost forgot. By the way, the company also offers an excellent business opportunity. Who do you know who might be interested in taking a look and making an extra $1,000 a month in their spare time? And the answer to that question most of the time, well, I'd be willing to take a look. So I then got an appointment for a business opportunity. And went on and on. We ended up, I think the biggest influence on me was Zig Ziglar. We didn't know what we were doing, and one of his books, I forget which one, he said, you can get whatever you want in life by helping enough other people get what they want in life. And my reaction to that just jumped out and said, duh. because for the first 40 years, there was only one person I was concerned about. That was me. I didn't care much about anybody else, what they were doing. And when I made that shift in my head and in my actions, my life changed, totally changed. Now, in about a year, we were director. A couple of years later, we were equivalent, they had different titles then, of like a 4 Ruby. And then in 8 years, when we moved from New York to Atlanta, before we met the Clarks, we were already a diamond director. And that was basically because we were totally committed to helping our team grow. That was what all our focus was on, helping them to reach whatever goals they were going for. And we had some really great people to work with. So I'm pleased about that. When we moved from Atlanta to North Carolina, and at that point we went into semi-retirement, and we were in semi-retirement, we weren't building the business, we were just managing it and living on the residuals, which is a pretty nice thing to do. And we were able to focus all of our time and energy on helping raise our 4 grandchildren. So we were responsible for homeschooling them, teaching them how to read and write, do their numbers, took them piano lessons and karate lessons and gymnastics and you name it, So we spent those 20 years and in many ways, that's what we considered our greatest achievement. When they left, thanks to NeoLife, when they grew up and were able to leave home and get off on their own, they had never been sick and had never had a cavity. They had never been to a doctor and had never been to a dentist.
Oh my God.
And they didn't have an ounce of fat on them when they left home. I'm not saying that's the case now, but when they left us, they were in great shape. So that was a blessing for us to be able to do that. And thanks to NeoLife that we had the time and the energy and the wherewithal to do that. So I'm truly grateful for that. I don't know how much more time I have, Bob, but I'd be glad to answer a question or two if
Yeah, let's
that
do
works.
that. Let's do that. I want to highlight that's such a profound change when Zig said you can get anything you want if you help enough other people get what they want, and then your focus began to help others. That's tremendous.
I totally shifted
Yeah,
my whole mindset.
tremendous. Okay, who has a question they want to ask? We got a 1 diamond here, you guys. It's amazing.
I do, but it doesn't relate to NeoLife.
Okay.
Aki, are you part of the Virginia Birds? That's where I'm at. Our last name's spelt the same as yours.
No,
No?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm some other birds.
Well, I've been looking it up, and I guess we're all somewhere distantly related from over there in Europe. So
Well, we're all related, Rick, somehow.
yeah, we all got part of Jesus's chromosome in us. So
Somewhere,
we're
yeah.
somewhere. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Who else has a
Right.
question? You guys look, Aki's health changed completely. At 86, he's running Spartan run, 5Ks, never sick. Used to be sick all the time. Got enough cash, nice home, able to help the grandkids. Look at the health of the grandkids. No cavities, no fat. Woo! Some amazing changes.
I want to thank my wife, Moss.
Okay.
She was one of the original health food nuts. Her older brother gave her a health food cookbook in 1958 when she graduated high school. And from that moment on, she was committed. So when she met me, that was 1966, I was getting drunk every day. I was smoking a couple of packs of Camels. I had an ulcer. I'd wake up every morning hungover and totally bad shape. Well, Moss laid down the law, which she was good at. Moss was the boss. And everything she did, she was the boss. She just took over everything in her life. If you expressed a problem, she said, okay, let's fix it. She'd get to work, I'm fixing your problem. I got to the point where I stopped complaining to her because she would stop everything she was doing to help me solve my problem. And all I wanted to do was complain. I didn't want a solution. So,
Solution.
I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent. Oh,
Yeah,
Moss.
who else has a question for Aki?
Yeah.
Aki, if you were going to start a business brand new, fresh today with NeoLife, what do you think would be the first thing you would be doing as you were training a brand new team of people?
I think, Jamie, that what I would do, one thing that always worked for us, we kind of focused on one product. And in the beginning was the water dome. We used that as the door opener. That way, it was an easy thing for us to do in New York at the time. So I would probably go with Elevate now and use that as it's an easy one to you can sample it. It's easy to hand out, easy to talk about. It's kind of like a no-brainer in some ways, so that all you want to do is get connected, and that's an easy way to get connected rather than getting into the story of Formula 4 and on and on and on. That's a big story, and Elevate could take it a minute, and that means you could do one, keep doing it, and not get stuck, devoting a whole lot of time to one person who may not do anything. So that's kind of thing. Then we worked on, we used salmon oil as when we moved to Atlanta, we used salmon oil as the product we focused on, because at that time, salmon oil was in the news every day, or fish oil was in the news every day. And it was an easy conversation to start.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing. And then I would get them hooked up into some kind of training program. And, there are so many different things available now, like the Zoom meetings and all that stuff. Get them connected so that they get everybody else's story as well as yours. Like what Bob's doing here. This is perfect. Who was it? Barbara, you were saying about inviting somebody to this meeting, or someone was saying?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. That's the thing to do. Get them involved. So much happens when they say, "Oh, I like what so and so said. I like what Mary said, or I like what Bob shared." And they get connected.
Where's all these?
Well, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you guys give Aki a hand. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aki.
Thank you. This was great. I really appreciate this.
You guys, this is recorded, fortunately, and I mean, I can hardly think of a better, health is a big concern for everyone because we got tons of cancer, tons of heart disease, tons of Alzheimer's. Okay, so the products address that, but finances are a huge issue too. I've read that lots of people don't have $1,000 in savings. I've read lots of them, and the credit card debt and nothing to retire on. Some do have they've done well at putting away cash, but some have not. And so listen to that story. Aki at 40 finds the opportunity, and then they start marketing and doing fair booths, and they would do training meetings. He told me they'd do a training meeting on business and on the product, and it turned into this a diamond-sized business. That's almost $3 million a year in sales. So and some that's a minimum of 2.4 million minimum, but some one diamonds can be 3, 4, 5, 6, $7 million teams but the minimum is 2.4 million. So you guys, I mean, here, somebody didn't have a lot of opportunity, driving a taxi 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day, walks into this. And Aki, we'll go to the next speaker shortly, but it'd be stupid to say it wasn't work, right? You had a great opportunity, but you guys worked hard, right? At booths and trainings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We totally devoted, and Moss was a workaholic. Not in a, I mean, that's who she was. I mean, it wasn't like she never took a day off in her life. It's like she was always on purpose, on target, doing something, and she was the driving force. She carried me along, I think.
But you guys were living in a 3rd floor walk-up apartment in New York City, and then you live on acreage out in the beautiful country. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm on 4 acres. It was 12 acres. I sold 8. And I'm on the Little Tennessee River. It's going right by, about 150 feet out the window here. And I've got mountains all around me to view. This time of year, it's a little hard because the trees are big and tall and get in the way. But in the wintertime, it's beautiful. And a quiet little town. The street I live on, I can go take a half-hour walk and maybe have 3 or 4 cars pass me in that half hour. So
Oh,
that's pretty amazing.
Very peaceful setting.
Oh, absolutely. Very quiet.
Wow, you guys give him a hand. What a story.
Thank
And
you.
you guys, I should tell you, Aki's upline is pretty funny. Irene Rader is his upline, and she's from a town of like 50 or 150 in Montana. Okay, Columbus, Montana. And she wrote on her application, "I will not sell," in great big letters. And she signed up to buy a quart of green. And it became this diamond-sized business. And there's a joke that Bob Shar used to say that Irene Rader, which is Aki's upline, would go to the airlines and they go up to the counter and they said, "Where do you want to go?" And she'd say, "Don't make no difference. I got business everywhere." And Aki, remember she had a property in St. Croix in the Caribbean?
Yeah.
St. Croix. You know, you live in Columbus, Montana, this little Hickville, and she has property at St. Croix in the Caribbean and business everywhere. So I think it amounts down to what Aki said. And he got it from Zig. If we help enough other people get what they want, which we all know they want health. Otherwise, we wouldn't have 80% of the population in the United States using vitamins. They all want health. So if we show them a better way to get health than what they're getting now, do you agree, Aki? We can have, the sky's the limit. You moved out of.
Absolutely. I'm now that Moss has passed and the grandchildren are out on their own, I'm totally committed with a passion to build NeoLife.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, look, it's too valuable to keep it a secret. What selfish I would be to do that. You know?
Yes. Yes. Okay, you guys give him a big hand. What a great story. What an amazing story. Thank you, Aki.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay, Barb. We're gonna put Barb on next. Barb is
Okay, I'm gonna take off, guys. See
okay.
y'all.
Thanks, Aki. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Barb is a senior manager, very, very consistent. And we were so happy to have her and her husband, Rick, at the last Louis event. It was wonderful having them with us. And she's going to give us 5 minutes on fundamentals of our business. I see Rick right next to her, and we'll have Rick after her. So, Barb, could you please share what's been valuable to you out of that book?
I wish I would have had it a couple years ago.
Okay.
Because it's so simple. Not things that are simple aren't necessarily easy to do. But what I really like about the book is that he takes you step by step on conversations to have with people, um, how not to say too much, but what you do say to them will lead them to say yes. And the biggest thing is if they say no to you, don't belabor it. Go on to the next person. And that is what I need to learn to do, because I'm so passionate about what these products can do for people. I tend to, especially to my close friends, keep bringing it up to them and they don't want to hear it. So I need to just let that go, leave it behind me, and go on. Um, One thing that was really valuable to me too is I guess just the simple tools. Like he said, when you do make an appointment, first of all, when you call, make it concise. Don't act like you call them to visit. You just say, I just have a minute, but I wanted to touch base with you because I know you're such a, say, an efficient, reliable person. And so I thought of you to share this with because you're the kind of person I would like to do business with. And then compliment them, be sincere about it. And then say, if I gave you a CD, would you listen to it? And if they say yes, okay, when could I drop it off, or when could I meet with you to give it to you? And then pin them down. When would you listen to it? Thursday? Okay, I'll call you Friday morning. What's your number? What would be a good time? I mean, it gives step by step things to do that are concrete. And but then if they do say no, just say, okay, thank you for your time, and don't take it personally.
What's
Which
the
I
name
have.
of the book? What's the name of the book, Barb?
GoPro.
Okay, very good. By Eric who?
I can't remember.
It starts with a W.
Eric, Eric
Worley?
Worry.
Worry. Okay.
GoPro.
Yes.
Okay.
GoPro. Yes. And anyway, like I said, it's very simple, easy things or simple things to do, but not always so easy. And he also gives you dialogue to use with close friends or family, which are a little bit different than someone you don't know so well. And so, anyway, just things like that, little verbiages, little conversation tweaks that you can make. And I'm going to have to read it again and highlight and practice because it's not something that comes real natural to me. I'm more conversational and personable, and I need to learn to be more concise and maybe sometimes a little bit more business-like. But it was encouraging to me because a lot of the things he did point out in the book are things that we're already doing. So I guess it's just a matter of keep on keeping on, and the results will catch up with you eventually.
All right. Anything else?
No, just that. I wish it is a must read for anyone who's just beginning in the business, I believe.
Right.
And I wouldn't hesitate to share it with people
Okay,
because
good.
of that.
Yeah, you can get it on CD also, the book or on
Okay, that's a good idea. And also, Bob, as I was reading, I thought, this is what Bob does. I've heard Bob do this. So I know you've read the book.
I do some of it. I should do a lot more. I was thinking, see, Rick and Barb are in a very rural area, so their situation is quite similar to Aki's upline. Aki's upline came from a town of like 50 or 150. So very similar to the team that just spoke, the one diamond team that just spoke, very rural setting. But the rural people, they get cancer too. They get heart attacks too. They get Alzheimer's too. So everyone in the country needs it, just like people in the city do too. But any other comments, Barb? I'm so glad you enjoy it and wish you'd had it started reading it earlier. That's a good thing to hear. That
Yeah,
you feel the
yeah.
value.
Yeah, I will share it. But Bob, I wanted to compliment you because I picked up on those little tools that you use. But when you do it, it's so natural. And that's what I want to, like I said, I have to go back and reread and kind of highlight because I want to be able to do it as naturally as you do.
Okay. Well, very good. Thank you for the compliment. That's very kind of you. And you guys give her a hand. You know, Barbara, before we go to your superstar trainer next to you on the couch there, I should ask, do you have any immediate goal or 30-day goal or 60-day goal or 1-year goal? What are you shooting for now? Because you guys are rock solid senior managers every month. What's top of mind for you? Do you want to get to 1,500 every month, 2,000? What are your thinking, or 4,000?
Well, the short term would be 2000, but
Okay.
I'll tell you the truth, Bob. I get so discouraged if we don't hit our goal. I tend to not make them anymore because at first we went great guns and didn't expect people to drop off like they did. And I'm just being very truthful with you now. It's hard for me because I don't like to be disappointed. But if I had a short-term goal, it would be to get to 2000.
Okay, good. That's good. And I'm going to pick up on that. That's really good. What we need is baby steps. We need several things. We need baby steps, incremental, and then we need a daily plan of action. And I'll give you a little example. A goal actually without daily execution is worthless.
Right.
I'll just say that. So I'm thinking, because see, if we have a goal but we don't have the plan of action, it ain't going to happen. So I'll give you a real simple one with me. I want to be able to bench press 150 pounds. Okay, and I'm a wimp. This is my exercise program. I'm doing it right now. This is the exercise program I've done for 40 years. I sit on my rear end 10 hours a day and lift a pin. And then this is the rest of my exercise program. I lift a paper too. So that's I'm doing my exercise program as we speak. And so, wimp. So my goal, I want to be able, 2 days ago, I was at my youngest daughter's house and I got this board and I laid on my back because, you do bench press. And two of my granddaughters got on the board. They weigh 100 pounds between the two of them. Keely's 65 and Kendall's 35. So that's 100. And my daughter videoed me lifting both of them. And they're just squealing like stuck pigs. It's really funny listening to them. But see, in about 2 months, I hope to be strong enough to get the third kid on there. That's the youngest, Marshall. So then I can lift all three. Well, then another month or two after that, my goal is to be able to lift my other daughter's kids because they're bigger. Her oldest is about 11 and he might be 80 or 90 pounds. And then he's got this teeny little sister and a brother. So, and then my ultimate goal is lifting Bradley, and he's 195. That's my youngest son, and he's a hunk, man. He is just ripped and solid muscle. But that goal is worthless without going to lift weights 3 times every week. It ain't going to happen. I've already seen it happen because I was such a wimp when I started. I still am, but I can do 125 now. But when I started, I can't remember. I think I was maybe 60, so weak, So the only way I can get to my goal is I have to be lifting weights 3 times a week. If I have a goal but I don't do the daily plan, is it going to happen? I'll just ask you guys, is it going to happen? Will I be able to lift 195? No. I have to be able to do these things every week, or else in 2 months, I will not be strong enough. I'll be right where I am today or less. So the same thing is with our business. We all like inspiration. It's good. But what we need, you guys, is perspiration. Okay? Okay, because we have to, and perspiration, Jamie, isn't it true? Jamie is one of the best sponsors in our team. He's won tons of medals. And with the 3 daily success habits, one is doing what Barb's doing. That's personal development, the reading. One is use the product. We're all pretty good at using the product. Third one is share the product, share the business, which means making presentations. So Jamie, isn't it true? Because you're a veteran, you know how to build. If we don't do the presentations, is anything going to happen?
No, you gotta be out in front of people. You gotta invite them, and sometimes it is discouraging. And sometimes, I get stuck like everyone else gets stuck. But I always try and look for God's plan, God's inspiration, and then God giving me divine appointments. Who's going to come along, and you just never know that when the opportunities are going to come up. But if you can set a schedule and set a plan, and I'm forever making lists of people to contact. And some of my first lists, I still haven't contacted some of those people. I keep the lists, and but I'm always putting fresh people on it and trying to contact them and making those appointments when I can.
Yeah, so
My-
go ahead, Jamie.
I was going to say my best success is sitting across the kitchen table with people and spending the time to educate them about the products.
Right.
Right. That's how it works the best for me.
Okay. And I'm like that too. And Moss and Aki built this multi-million-dollar business from a 3rd floor New York City apartment with no elevator or nothing. But he told me they would do like hour-long meetings on the business, hour-long meetings on the product, like maybe many per week, because they're training their people how to communicate what the product does and to know what the product does for them too, not just for other people, because then you have real strong users. If they know what that product does, that's going to hold your volume for years in many cases. So I'm just saying the goal, it's one thing. It's good to have a goal, but without the plan of action, it won't happen. So anyway, we all need a plan of action. I'm kind of weak there too, but that's what we need to have. So Barb, thank you for sharing. And is your trainer next to you ready?
I think so.
Okay, Rick is the other half of this dynamic duo, an extremely capable man, just unbelievably capable in everything, fixing things, running operations for huge multi-million-dollar businesses. And he's going to give us 5 minutes from Eric Worre's book. So take it away, Mr. Senior Manager, Rick Bird.
Okay, you said 5 minutes. I don't know if I've got 5 minutes because Barb pretty much stole a lot of my thunder.
If you don't, that's fine.
Well, when it comes to Eric's book, at the very beginning of it, when we started reading it, it was like both of us were looking at each other going, we already do that. We already do that. We already do that. And then he got into the part where, just like what you had told us to do at the very beginning, writing down all the people that you know, whether you like them or not. And so we was like, okay, we've done that too, and we've exhausted that. And so, like you said we live in a very rural area, and we started trying to find different people that we can talk to, and we can't go to the churches and do it because Jamie's got the monopoly on that part of it. I was talking to Debbie about it, and she said, well, no offense. I said, Jamie's the best preacher I've ever gone to. And she goes, well, tell Jamie that there's no offense to it, but you might have to find a different church so you got new friends to talk to. I don't know if we would do that or not. But anyway, back to Eric's book. Things that I learned about it was that when we go and make a phone call to talk to somebody about the business, he said, don't turn it into a long conversation. He wanted us to call them up, ask them if they have a minute. You were busy. I would say, I'm really busy right now. I want to know if you have a minute. So if you got a minute, can I explain our business to you? And if they say yes, just say, great, what day would you like me to call you back? And you put them on the part where they make the decisions. You ask them, what time would you like me to call you back? Then when you do, they give you a date, you call them back on that time, and then you start to present the business, and then you ask them if, like Barb said, if you go and if I send you some information, whether it's a CD or whatever, or ask them if they would want it. If they say yes, say great. And then the next part is you ask them how, when do you think you would view it, or when you would think you would listen to it, or when do you think you would read it, whatever you sent to them. And they would say, oh, I'd probably do it on such and such a date. And then you tell them, great, I'll call you the next day after that. And you basically set them to a point where they're the ones that are in control of their day. But for me, I told Barb, I said, it kind of feels like a manipulation to get the person to go and do it. And she said, no, it's not. It's just a matter of knowing that these people have set this up, and they got to, that if they're willing, they're going to do what you ask them. And so that part of it came to me as far as keeping the conversation short at the very beginning, giving them, like Barb said, praise. The other thing is that that's the biggest part of learning this business, is learning how to talk to the people. And when we were first approaching them, we would approach them with, oh, we've got a great product, it's NeoLife, and they go, oh, it's a multi-level marketing scheme. And it's like, I would sit there and I would get offended. I would go, no, it's not a multi-level marketing scheme. So if we weren't in the area that we were in, and as hard as Barb and I work at this, we'd pass you, Bob. So, but anyway, I would get offended by it. But this guy, Eric, turned around and said, you come up to him and you start talking about your business, not the business, but what's for us, it would be, how are you doing? You know, it looks like you're having problems with whatever. And if they open up to you, say, well, like Barb and I, we would say, we're senior managers for a company that's all nutritional, and that company is NeoLife. You go and tell them that what you are, whether you're a director, a senior manager, an executive manager for NeoLife. You don't tell them that, oh, I work for NeoLife, and let them sit there and go, oh, it's one of those multi-level marketing. Say, no, it's a network marketing company. You buy your stuff online, and it's the number. And then we get into the part of telling them that I'm the business side of it. Barb is definitely the nutritional side of it. So if they want to know about the business, I can jump in and tell them exactly what the business is all about. Eric is very informative. I wish that we had this book 2 years ago so that we could have got into it and learned some more. But kudos to you, Debbie and Jamie. If you guys hadn't shown us the business the way that you guys promote it, we wouldn't be senior managers. We would be like fish out of water. So
Gulping for air.
Gulping for air, like Barb said. We would, especially with the different these are multi-level businesses we were in the past. Our frustration, nobody to train us. And you, Jamie, Debbie, with everything that you guys do, and with this book that Eric has given, that we have purchased. And I strongly suggest that everybody that's a promoter at least has this book. So if you find somebody that is wanting to be a promoter, just go, here, I want to lend you this book right off the bat. And that way, say, this book here is going to help you out a lot. But on top of that, we have a team of people that are going to help you out a lot. So I don't know how long I've talked, but that's pretty much where I've gone with this as far as what Eric has said. And he's got so much information on this. I mean, it was like 9 steps into this is the direction you go to get where you want to be. And I can't remember every step, so we got to go over the book again.
We'll have you back to share a lot more, because this is good stuff you're sharing, Rick. It's very good. And you guys give him a big hand.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, we'll have you guys back for sure, because it's such great content. And okay, what we're going to do now, we're going to go to a manager in New York. Thank you, Rick and Barb. Thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
thank you, Jamie and Carol, and well, Carol's Jamie's coach, and Debbie for helping run Grants Pass and motivate Grants Pass. Thank you, you guys, so much. We're going to go now to a manager in New York. She just invested in herself, which is a good thing, and went to a Wisdom Builder retreat in Alabama. And Mary, take a few minutes here and share some of the best content you got from those sessions. And welcome, Mary Antoine.
Hi. Thank you, Bob. But I have to be upfront. I was like, Alabama, me? No. But I'm so happy I decided to go. So I wrote down some stuff, but I don't know how in depth I want to go with. But it did say a few minutes, so I'm going to actually speak about the importance of daily method of operation, excuse me. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about.
Awesome.
So basically the points that Joel Merritt mentioned, that it's not about comparing yourself to others or building it like others. It's about your daily method of operation. It's about doing the task consistently every day. Success is rooted in in being consistent every day with everyday activities. He also mentioned repeated every day, the small insignificant tasks will ultimately lead to exponential growth. Implementing the DMOs promotes discipline and personal growth as well. So the daily tasks, or using the products and exercising, yes, prospecting, following up, team building and management, personal development, which that also is important for mindset, social media marketing. And he also mentioned that consistency plus time equals success. And to have a method of tracking your growth is directly tied to tracking your daily tasks, which is true because I'm back into my fitness goals. So tracking every day is very important. Activities. I don't track what I eat because I just eat whatever I want, but I move every day though. So the daily method of operation is very important. Is there anything else you wanted me to share?
No, but I just agree 100% with you. It's one of my weakest areas. I'm not going to pretend it's not. If we do the daily 3, which is use the product, we can all do that.
Yes.
I'm not too good at the personal development, but then the sharing the product. If we do that every day, it is going to cause exponential growth. It will get huge, massive. So
yes. And I would add to have an accountability partner as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what the daily success teams are all about, is that accountability. And why is that important, would you say, Mary?
Because it keeps you on track. Because I mean, right now, I would say that you are mine.
Okay.
You keep me on track. I know that like for this week, like I would have to contact or to call or be in contact with at least 5 people a day. I did on Tuesday. I missed yesterday because I was preparing for today, but that's no excuse. But to have someone be, to help you stay on track. Because I do have goals for this end of the month that I want to reach. And for to have someone to keep me accountable, like you, Barbara, as well. And I see myself reaching my goal because I have someone to keep me accountable.
Yeah, and if you do that daily thing, presentations, conversations, meeting people, it's going to happen. It'll
Yeah.
happen.
It's gonna happen, yes.
Okay, and the way Mary and I have some accountability is, and for any of the rest of you want to join us, we meet every Wednesday. They say stay close to the campfire is really critical, and there's 3 meetings you can get in on every Friday at 9. Might be the most valuable, quite possibly. That's Wisdom Builders, and we're welcome on that call. It's incredible. And then Mondays at 9, also these are West Coast time with Ashley and Stephen. And then Wednesday we have a team one from 5 to 5:30 West Coast time. And so you guys, let's give Mary a big hand. Thank you, Mary. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, now we're going to go to a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful couple in Canada. There, we just had the privilege and pleasure of having them with us in Alabama. I think it was their first team retreat, I believe. And their title is director. That's amazing. Their title is director. And let's hear from Brent and Ramona some of the most valuable gems they got from the Wisdom Builder Retreat. Let's welcome directors Brent and Ramona Chichester.
I just want to say hi to everybody. And it was my first time in Alabama. I sometimes watch the Wisdom Builders on Facebook. Like I go back and look at some of the things the trainings they talk about. But anyways, being there in person, the one thing that I really liked was that one segment they did on third-party credibility, and they ran through it in a live format. So I think it was a year ago. I had a friend of mine. I went up to her because she works for another company, a multi-level company. But anyways, I said, everybody's talking about these boards. What do we do with boards, the app boards? And she goes, well, I have it. And so I downloaded it, but then I didn't know how to use it properly. And then when they had it on there, it was really neat because I didn't realize that you could just pre-program all these segments. And then when you are talking to somebody, it's easy just to go onto the app and send them the information. Instead of getting on your phone, you put their number in, then you're trying to look up in YouTube if there's maybe someone was talking about some type of testimonial or whatever you're doing, and you're constantly searching for information. And it takes a lot of time. Where in boards, it's already all there. And I thought that was really neat. And then she was linked right to Nicole Blaine, sends her a message. Nicole then instantly went on her boards, loaded a pre-programmed actual voice recording of her talking about her testimonial. And it ended up getting to the person they needed to get it to within what, maybe 3 minutes, I think it was. And I think that was a big savings because I never realized, like I didn't really know how to use that sort of stuff. So I found the training, there was actually things that you could actually start doing immediately. Because you already know how to do some of it, but you didn't know how to actually execute it properly. So I thought that one was really good.
Thank you, Ramona. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, everybody, Brent. What I got, well, I got the pleasure of meeting Aki Bird and hearing the story of how he met Lawrence and Marjorie. which is pretty cool. The man has a ton of information. But a few, and also, and I want to thank Bob for giving us the opportunity to come to Alabama, because this wouldn't have happened without you. So thank you. But I took away a couple of things. The theme that I kept on getting is the simple, going back to making things simple and going back to basics was a key theme that kept on coming up. And the other one was the mindset one, which we've been talking about earlier on. And the last one was when Kendra did her speech, she was talking about AI and the disruption that's coming. But within that chaos is an opportunity for us as NeoLife promoters to offer what we have to these people. And I found that really interesting. But the mindset one with Dwight was pretty good too. The importance of guarding what's on your, guarding your mind. Because in today's world, 2024, we're constantly throwing information on the news, the phone is the biggest disruptor. It's coming at us all these different ways. And whether you want to believe it or not, these things all have an effect on how our day comes out. So by controlling what information goes into your mind, it gives you a little bit more upper hand in how you win your day. And then also Alan had some other, I'm kind of all over the map because it was really worth the time to learn to be there. The other thing I found too was the information was given in a way that was easily digestible. So, like Kendra did her speech and Alan did his thing on the tips for success, and it was 2 hours long. It was just enough information to digest it and to make sense of it, and then take a break and move on to the next topic. So it was really well done. What else? Shockwave Springs was a really nice venue. It was a really nice place to have that event. It was really relaxing and peaceful. If anybody has not been there, it's worth going. And that's in a nutshell, pretty much what I pretty much got out of the whole weekend. The simplicity, making things simple, going back to the basics. Having the right mindset, which we all talked about it over the last hour or so wouldn't beat that horse again. And the opportunity that's coming our way. That was probably the biggest takeaway for me, is that the opportunity coming our way for all of us is going to be huge coming, because we will be disrupted. That's not a debate anymore. It's just a matter of when and how large is the question at this point. So people will be displacing their jobs, including myself. I will be part of that disruption because I'm an auto worker, and we are in the middle of the disruption. So hearing that information from Kendra and knowing that they are thinking in that direction and looking in the future to try and put us in a position where we could receive the benefits is also a great feeling to have. So that was my little takeaway. I'll be probably back again, and I'm hoping to go back again to Alabama in November to do it all over again. It was just a wonderful time, and it was an amazing ride down, even though it was 17 hours from Ontario, Canada to Alabama. It was just an unbelievable ride. And I had the time of my life, seeing all you smiling faces, Mary and my sister and you, Bob. And I got to meet Lisa Whitman and Aki Bird and Dwight Johnson, and also walked away with Alan's book, which I recommend you all. I just started reading it. I'm on like the 3rd or 4th chapter, but it's a lot of information in there. It all ties in to kind of like what Rick and Barb are doing with Rick Worry. It's all in that same envelope, and the idea is that it takes our profession from being in a closet to being out in profession. Like when you talk to your lawyer, your doctor, your dentist, these people, there's a certain method of communication that we all accept and we follow. This is another one that's going to be added to it. So, it's not going to be, here comes the multi-level marketing guy running high. It's going to be a professional talk, asking questions, getting information, and serving the needs. Like Rick said, it is a Ziegler quote, helping the people get what they want, you get what you want. So our job is to find out what they need and to provide it. And we know what we have. I think we all can agree that what we have, they need. And the opportunity, the future looks bright. So I pass it back to you, Bob, and thank you once again for the opportunity.
Okay, yeah, we're so happy you came, and you have a team. One of your downline is registered for the November. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I do.
That's pretty cool. And Mary is registered for it, right? And I am. So, and we have 2 coming all the way from Montana. You guys, they're in Steffi's team for the next one. So yeah, we're it was a huge blessing having Brent and Ramona there. So thanks for coming, you guys. And yeah, hopefully we can see yet another one coming up soon. And from there, you guys, we're going to go to pillar in our team. Barbara just does so good. She has huge team meetings on Zoom. Last month, she did 9,000. You guys give her a big hand. And let's welcome Barbara Chichester to share with us her highlights from the Wisdom Builder Retreat. Barbara.
Thank you, Bob. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. So I'll cover just a couple. And I am inconsistent, Bob. I'm in your world also. So sometimes you go crazy, right? So I've been challenged throughout the years on this consistency. And I'm not talking about get up in the morning, brush your teeth. Those are routine stuff. The things that we don't like to do is where I struggle with. So if I can't do that in my house, the things that I really don't want to do, what makes me think I will be able to sit and write 100 names? So I had to find so I challenge with that, and I start, and the phone rings or somebody or a little pen fall, I get distracted. So when I went to Wisdom Buildings, I found a good tool, 100-box challenge. So look at that. I did 100 names. So I said, well, it's an Academy Award because I couldn't do that before. So I thought for me that was awesome. And I know I have a lot of friends, but I didn't know how to write these things down. So and then I yellow them out if I had connected with them. So this was my real big one that I didn't get distracted. Bam, I sat and I just went down the line. I didn't even use my phone sometimes. I just remember the names. So this to me was very, very helpful. And Alan Blade did making and growing your list of names. So the people so this was April. So May I started, and I'm going to add the ones that I met yesterday. So which was good to keep that flowing and add the others. So I was really, really happy about that. Another area he talked about was your mind's how to ask questions when you meet someone. And I thought that was really, really good. Follow-up was good also, but let me get you the one with the questions. Anyhow, while I'm working on that, I also enjoyed Lawrence Clark story. He did a really great story on and let me go to that because I can't find what I'm looking for. Oh, inviting the art of asking questions. Be professional. Of course, you're also connectors. You are the messenger, not the message. All business is conversation. I have a tendency to be both messenger and the message, just going blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was really helpful. And the connection. So it has helped me better when I meet people now to listen attentively. So the two individuals were my practice yesterday, how I listened attentively to the needs. Let the mother talk all about that beautiful baby. Let her talk about how many hours she has been in labor. So I just listened because, and then she asked me, she said, how old are you? And she said, you mind asking? She said, don't take any offense. And I told her. So she said, oh my gosh, I'm so surprised. I'm not surprised for what you said, you into nutrition, but I didn't tell her the name of the company. So I listened to her a lot. She had concerns about her baby, as I talked about. Also, one girl I signed up on the 1st of May. She had she works with she does acupuncture and all the homeopathic stuff, and she has osteoporosis, and she's been taking this supplement for the last 3 years, and she thought our one was a little bit too expensive. So I called her back, but before I called her, I looked up the name of the supplement she's been using, and I saw all these side effects, and let your doctor know this, etc. So I called her, but I didn't tell her that I looked it up. I just said, you know, I want to share with you our products. If you look at all the labels, because she had my website, you wouldn't see anything that tells you to keep away from children or side effects. So she probably already looked at that. She said, okay, no problem, sign me. I will sign up. She on my website and she signed up right there and then, because I stepped ahead and figured out what it is she has. So I'm going to learn that more and more and get better at it. So just to listen to the needs. One key word, you know, the lady with the breast cancer 7 years ago and so forth, and just take protein every morning from the grocery store. Well, she didn't know anything about a 22 amino acid. So I shared with her my card and the from Elevate, and I gave her an Elevate. And I agree with Aki, Elevate seems to be the easiest thing to communicate and like. The key for that, you must follow up, because they could say whatever they want to say. And so I thought that was interesting. One of the ladies had Hispanic Latino lady, and I've been trying to get her for a long time. And she's wishy-washy, she's not too sure, etc. So she came to my house to pick up something, and we had talked about the protein. So I had a protein pouch. She bought it right there, took it to her family. They love it. So, but again, I followed up because I was not good until I went to Wisdom Builders. I started to tighten up the areas I have. And the last one is Lawrence Clark. He was really impressive. He had no, Bob, I'm getting there. I am organized, but disorganized. He had, he started out as a, working at a Holiday Inn as a laundry person. That's to tell you, don't feel bad about what we have, because they have other people who started out worse than we have. So he started, he was in the laundry area from worked through the Holiday Inn. Then he was in the pillow factory. Then he was a painter. He had very little skills. And while he was building NeoLife, he had crooked teeth. He had he was wearing Goodwill clothes. He had a car from the junkyard, and that's why he's building the business. Not enough money. He didn't have enough money to even have a closure on a shack, to put down money on a shack. And now he has a house on the lake. That's very impressive. He said it's now a privilege, and he loves what he's doing. Having his job in NeoLife is a privilege, and someone needs the health, and some people need extra money. And he said, you may get 1,000 no's, but you're going to get that one yes. 1,000 no's. God, could I wait for that? I don't know. I'm like you, Bob, I'd probably get discouraged. But he said, don't ever devalue what you have. People need what you want. So sometimes we get discouraged, and don't look at people's life as a waste. You just need to share with them what you have, because we have a gold mine, and that people need us. And that's it for me, Bob. Thank you very much.
Okay, give her a hand, you guys.
Thank you.
Lots of good content there. Lots of great content. You know, it's funny. We had two guys on. Aki found our business at 40 or 42, and pretty much penniless, 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day in a taxi in New York. Imagine that. And living on the third floor, having to walk upstairs all the time. At 40, not a bright future. He said, I heard him say he didn't think it's going to get any better. And now he has a business that grew to over 200,000 a month in sales. Oh my. And then Lawrence Clark, Barbara just mentioned him. Josh himself, Lawrence's oldest son. We all know Josh. Josh told me they were raised on cabbage, rice, and beans. Okay. And Lawrence was around 40 when he found NeoLife. He may have been 36 or 38, but around that area, and doing laundry at Holiday Inn, right, Barbara? and driving a car from the junkyard. I remember the first time I saw them, they were in a hippie bus, old hippie bus. And they, it's really nice, you guys, that we don't have to, we're in a business that people can make a ton of money, but anywhere on the spectrum, it's fine. I was raised really poor myself. We were in Africa, and I mean, if I needed a pair of jeans, it's like a financial earthquake in our family finances. Or if I wanted to join Cub Scouts, is like I mean, we were tight, so it's fine. Clark's, they came into this beautiful resort, and their first convention was at Stouffer. I'll never forget it. Stouffer Esmeralda. It's in Indian Wells, California, which is by Palm Springs. I mean, magnificent. And they walked in with all their clothes in black garbage bags because they didn't have, and I've heard them tell the story too. They didn't have luggage. Well, that's fine. We all start in different places. It's no put down, and it blesses me actually a lot that Jerry's so wealthy, but he came from very tight finances also. And I've seen him. He does not look down on anyone. That's where we are. But look at the opportunity that came to two people. We're talking about Lawrence in his 40s and or close to 40, and Aki. So you guys, no matter where we are, even we might not be where we want to be right now. I think most of us probably are not, because we want to grow. But we can do that. We just need our daily method of operation. Make sure we're doing calls and presentations, because people need what we have. They use what we have. And so Barbara, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome, Bob. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we're going to acknowledge the more important thing. The volume is really wonderful, but I want to acknowledge this one more time, because this is what makes it happen. This is what makes our business grow right here. And that's Janet Cornelius, Kat Bonney, Daniel Hansen, Jamie Wilson, Lori Ish, Donna Vallejo, Barbara Chichester, Stephanie Beckett, Sherry Reef, Sarah Jackets, Tracy Slater, and myself all got new people. And that's what we want to be doing, you guys. That's what makes us accomplish two things. It helps us get where we want to be financially and more financial freedom. But bottom line is the product is to help other people. And so as we bring people in, we're accomplishing that goal. We are helping other people, helping others get what they want. If we help enough other people get what they want, we can have anything we want. Okay, so we're going to recognize the achievements. I think I'm going to stick more to people who are on the call now, just to save a little time. Rick and Barb Bird last month, 1,272 points. Give them a big hand. 1,272, and very, very good. We have a lot of others, but I'm going to, then Kevin Cornelius and Janet, they did 1,642. Dean Vandenberg, 4,002. Debbie Muzak, 4,816. Very good, very good. Jamie and Carol Wilson. Oh, I missed one. Kat had almost 1,300. You guys, Kat Bonney had 1,295. How about that? Okay. Debbie Musak, 4,816. Jamie and Carol Wilson, 5,004. Give them a hand. We appreciate that so much. Mark Ritchie in Iowa, 6,092. Marilee Blomberg, 6,496. Leslie Hansen, she's traveling on a plane to Chicago right now, 7,385. Victor Pearson, 7,864. Barbara Chichester with 9,000. And then Daniel Hansen, 11,511. Stephanie Beckett, 11,539. We had 3 world team members, Leslie Hansen with 22,919. Victor Pearson, 32,405, and Marilee Blomberg with 61,820. That's a big team. So you guys, we all want to build by reaching out to other people, staying close to the campfire. First Saturday in June, we're going to have Lisa Whitman will be with us. August, sounds like Kendra will most likely be with us. She said, let's do August, so that's cool. But in June, Lisa Whitman, and she has a dynamic, amazing team. I think she may have up to 4 of their team speaking to us, and they're doing great things. So anyway, I'll see some of you Wednesday at 5 o'clock West Coast time. And thank you everyone for coming on and contributing. Thank you very, very much. You guys have a wonderful day. Pursue
Thank
your
you,
goals
Bob.
and dreams.
Woohoo.
Thank you,
Thank
Bob.
you. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bob.
Bye.
Have a
Thank
great
you, Deb.
weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you,
bye.
Bye.
Good
Yeah,
job, Barb
Thank
Yeah,
you.
very good.
and
Good job,
Rick.
Bob. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Yeah, you guys did wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jamie,
Well,
looking
thank
forward
you.
to next in a month. That's gonna be exciting down there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We're getting jazzed already.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the first weekend in June?
Yes.
Is that the first weekend in June? Okay.
Yeah, let Barb know. Will there be a meeting possibly Friday night at your place, Jamie, or that's in process figuring it out? No.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
what now? What?
Yeah, we'll actually, that's probably gonna be, Friday night's probably gonna be at this new person's store, because we
Oh.
have in Grants Pass the first Friday night, and it's like an open house, and they want you to come speak for it.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'll look forward to that very much, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Okay,
Thank you,
you
Bob.
too,
Bye-bye.
Bob.
Hi, everyone.
Chelsea ever get on? Did that?